Ever since Slime Rancher 2 came out on PlayStation, I've since returned this amazing game series. Playing through the first game again made me realize how good this game really is. The first Slime Rancher takes place in a far range on a distant planet far away from Earth, far into the future. We take the role of Beatrix LeBeau, who is living the life of a slime rancher, which consists of constructing a ranch and exploring the world of the far range in order to collect, raise, feed, and breed slimes. You start off the game and aren't given much to work with. You're just thrown in to figure things out yourself. Soon after, the player naturally wanders off and finds their very first slime, the classic pink slime. These slimes are the basis of the game and are a requirement for progressing. The player naturally brings some home and starts placing them into corrals that they would be living in for the rest of their lives. After some time, the player starts to gather more and more slimes and goes out further into the world to explore. The player runs into brand new biomes but are soon presented with a locked door with a slime face on it. This then brings up the concept of Gordos, giant slimes that explode when fed enough, and sometimes even drop a slime key. The tiny slime Gordo doesn't drop a slime key but drops chickens and crates. The player would have to travel to the pink slime Gordo near a dry reef to get through. The player gains access to the moss blanket soon after this. This biome is when the player finds some of the most useful slimes, such as the honey slime. These honey slimes drop their honey plorts, which attract other species of slimes to eat them and can begin a Thora outbreak. Once you go further in, the player encounters the hunter slime, their first aggressive slime. These slimes cloak themselves and deal damage to the player when near them. This is a turning point for the player, as the game before this was mostly peaceful, aside from the rare tar. If the player chooses, they can enter the Indigo Quarry instead, which is full of much more dangerous slimes such as the rock, boom, and rad slimes. These slimes are also useful as they produce high value plorts except for the rock slime. The Indigo Quarry is a key part in accessing higher value slimes in the future. Once the player fully explores these two biomes, you can move into the ancient ruins. Right before this is a giant door locked with different plort types. Once the player inputs one of each plort into each container, the door unlocks leading into the brand new biome. The player can find a quantum slime that teleports away after a short amount of time. After navigating through the maze-like structure of the place, the player can find a teleporter at the very end, which leads to the final biome, the Glass Desert. The Glass Desert has some of the best slimes for money, such as the Tangle, Mosaic, and Dervish slimes, each one of their own unique aspect. There's also a fourth slime here, the Fire slime, which can only be obtained through the Fire Tornado event. These slimes don't live in a normal corral. Instead, they like to reside near the incinerator and feed on the ash that's created when burning any item in it. As the player explores, they are presented with what looks like to be a teleporter, but they are unable to interact with it. This teleport has been theorized to have led Beatrix to Rainbow Island, where the second game takes place. Exploring these biomes are a key part in progressing through the game and give the player a reason to get out of their ranch. Each biome has a few orange holograms that present us with a new character, Hobson Twillgers. This person was the owner of a ranch before us, and left behind notes for the player to help them better understand the surrounding landscape. He explains that he bought a ticket to the far range after his favorite tree began to die. As we read each note, we learn more and more about his personality and his wants and dreams in life. Some of his final notes we learned that he was the maker of the vaults hidden around the map that contained hundreds of gold plorts. We also soon learned that his final goal was to use a warp terminal to become the first human to travel through space and time, but he decided to not go as living a life with his love interest Thora would be more important to him. Aside from Hobson, there are 5 other humans that the player encounters: Thora West, Victor Humphries, Ogden Ortiz, Mochi Miles, and Bob, 3 of which have their own areas the player can visit. Not much is known about Ogden, but is believed to have been a CEO of a major insta-food company back on Earth, which made food filled with chemicals and preservatives that made people sick all for money. He tried his best to stop the company, but was unsuccessful and let go. He traveled to the far range to grow his crops naturally. His area is filled with plots the player can build on, and he has his own terminal, which the player can get upgrades from. The player is instructed to collect cocodobas in exchange for spicy tofu and progress towards brand new gardening items like Miracle Mix and the Deluxe Upgrade, which allows the player to plant more crops in a single plot. Mochi Miles is believed to be the daughter of billionaire Tatsuya Miles, who owns a massive tech company back on Earth. Mochi and her father become distant as she was sent to the far range on a special assignment, which she believes was just to pull Mochi out of his way. Mochi gives you 2 upgrades as you progress through her storyline, such as Mochi's Extra Mile, which doubles the plort's value in depositing at the market, and a Koopa upgrade and doubles the number of chickens you can keep and moves the elders out. Victor Humphries is a professional slime rancher, slime scientist, and amateur musician. He has a deep interest in slimes, but his studies prevent him from exploring, which is why you request many different slimes in a range exchange. Victor gives you a chicken duplicator and an advanced drone that can do 2 tasks at once. Thora West can be seen in the range exchange and is known for being the love interest of Hobson. She's a veteran slime rancher and is in charge of welcoming any new slime ranchers. There's also Bob, who is just pink slimes stacked on each other, wearing a trench coat and a fedora. This character is seen requesting hens and roosters and can only speak in limited words such as chicken. All these characters aren't seen during actual gameplay but have a crucial role in the player's advancement through the game. There is one more character which can only be seen through the star mail you receive when you enter the home area, who goes by the name Casey. They're referred to as Beatrix's special someone back on Earth and reveals some background information of Beatrix's life before the far range. As the player progresses through the game, these characters add more and more to the story and overall gameplay as the player is mostly alone in this world except for the slimes and tars that live in the surrounding areas. When I first watched a playthrough of this game back in 2016, I didn't like the overall gameplay. I thought it was boring and lacked any exciting features like combat or an interesting story. When I finished the video playthrough, I was disappointed and forgot about the game up until 2018 when I saw it on sale in the PlayStation Store. I got it for less than $10 and went on to do my own playthrough of the game. I was initially shocked with the amount of changes that happened since the last time I saw it. The story element had been more present, the addition of a whole new biome to explore with each new character added, and notes hidden around the map, introducing the player to the far range. I also enjoyed the brand new biomes that had new slimes to farm and collect their plores. Overall, the game had improved significantly, and I spent 115 hours playing through the story and even platinuming it. In the future, I'm hoping to get Slime Rancher 2, and once I do a full playthrough, I'm most likely going to do a video on it. See you next video for more.